I really like my kids. I like the way they're practicing. The areas that we try to get better in were defense, transition defense, free throw shooting, and ending possessions with rebounds. And I think we've made progress in those areas. And as long as we can continue to be the high-powered offense that we've been, we'll be all right.
How's Austin doing?
You know, he's had a tough time. Since he came back from being the captain of our United States, World University game team, averaging a double-double, he had that stress fracture. And so he was about 8 weeks in the summer, couldn't play with us when we went to Italy. He came back to start a season and started working out and developed another stress reaction in a different location, and that still got him out. I'd say he's probably about a week away from starting to maybe get up and down a little bit, start to move a little bit, so he's not far.
What can you tell us about eligibility concerns? Is everybody okay? Or
well, it's absolutely a day-to-day thing. Everybody was at practice today. We have a scrimmage, an exhibition game tomorrow, and so we may know more tomorrow.
Bruce Pearl's been there a couple of years now, and a lot of you're on the hot seat every year. Everybody is. You coach college athletics. People, you find fans impatient, or do you know those expectations come?
Nobody has higher expectations for me than me. So I don't concern myself with it. All I know is, 5 years prior to our being there, we had the second worst RPI of any Power 5 conference team. Second worst of any Power 5 conference team. Only South Carolina over the last 3 years has made more progress in their RPI than Auburn in our league. South Carolina because of their Final Four run. So we've come a long way, and we've made a lot of progress. And, last year got 6 true road game victories. We swept Alabama. We swept LSU. We swept, Missouri. And, we were 11-2 in the non-conference. We probably had the biggest win in the Big 12 SEC challenge when we beat TCU at TCU. We were the biggest underdog of the night and got that win. So we've made a lot of progress, and I think this roster coming back gives us a chance to make that next step.
Well, our team's working awfully hard. We have 8 freshmen and sophomores on our roster, and obviously the focus has been on our freshmen, but the big key to our season is going to be our returning players, their growth and maturation and how they're developing to go along with our young players. But they're working awfully hard. It's been a grueling camp, and they're ready to play against somebody else.
25th in one poll, 26th in the other. Do you like those expectations?
We've been working towards those type of expectations for the first 2 years, and we didn't have any unrealistic expectations in year 1 and 2, so we wanted to take that next step in year 3, and hopefully we'll continue to move up the polls as the season go on. But it's going to be awfully hard. We got to play our best basketball every night, because there are a lot of nights we're going to have the spotlight on us, and we'll see if we can handle that responsibility.
I heard you a week or so ago after a practice saying something to the effect of, man, we got to shape up defensively if we really want to make this happen. I know it's early, but what do you want to see more of? Right?
Well, we're not quite where we were defensively last year. We're a little bit different teams, a little bit smaller to start games, so we got to rebound, gang rebound. We got to do a better job of guarding the ball and transition defense, which we think is going to fuel our offense. So we got to take that next step defensively. And here early in the season, we're not quite where we were defensively, but we're much better offensively.
I think that's why we've picked it. We have a lot of good hype going into the season and a lot of good expectation, and reasonably so. When you have those guys who've won a lot of games back, Lewis Sullivan as well, coming off a redshirt year, so we have the pieces, I think, to have a really, really great season.
Nick Norton, that's the key. You mentioned off camera, look, it's the playing time. He's got to get those feet wet again.
Yeah, Nick is healthy. That's the good news, and he's playing, and it's going to be a process for him coming back. He hasn't played live basketball for it took about a year. Now he's healthy. He's been practicing good, but we really need him, his leadership on the court. He's a coach on the floor, and I'm thrilled to have him back in the lineup this year.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think every year you get a little more comfortable. I think we have a recruiting formula that we feel like's been pretty good for us. We recruit to our style of play, and I think it's a style that our fans enjoy. It's exciting. We get up and down the floor. Our guys like to play it, and I think we're getting more and more comfortable. This will be the first year. We got 4 guys our 5 guys that have been in our system for 4 years now. We haven't had that. You know, we've got 9 guys that are juniors and seniors. You know, when we first came in here, we had 11 guys that were freshmen and sophomores, basically. So now the program has kind of flipped, and we're older and we have some experience. So we have things you know, we have things that we can draw on, past experiences to draw on to help us in tough moments.
What's the conference look like? I know.
Awesome. I think this is at least the top 6 or 7. I mean, I think it's the best it's ever been. I think if you look at different preseason things and everything, you got people ranked in the mid-major polls, and you got you know, teams like Mercer, Furman, Wofford, ETSU. You know, it's one of those things. It's going to be a tough conference this year.
Rick Pitino, you want to talk about him or not? Just your thoughts. I mean, you've talked to him about what he's going through, what you got a feel for him as you play.
You know what? There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think Coach Pitino knew any of this stuff going on. I think the situation, the way it's become in college basketball, they make it that the head coach is supposed to know everything. So he's in a tough spot. I wish him the best. I've talked to him via text and stuff throughout this. He knows I support him. You know, I think all this stuff comes out and everybody's going to try to paint him in a bad light, and I don't think they understand how many hundreds and hundreds of kids along the way that he's coached, that he's had such a great impact on their lives. I wouldn't be standing here right now had he not been my coach.
Will he coach again?
I don't know. You know, the business is funny. You know, so I mean, as much as he's won, somebody might take a chance on him. I don't know. He might not want to coach again. You know, I hope if he wants to that he gets another chance.